Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fun-filled night here on Spirit Connections. How's everyone doing? I always feel like there should be a live audience so I can hear applause or something. But yeah, we have our one lone soldier here today.
I'll applause.
But I want to say welcome back. We didn't take a couple weeks off. That was the week before. My mind is everywhere today. Today I have my very good friend Necole Stephens on, Spirit Medium and Reiki Master. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for having me back.
You're welcome.
It's nice to be here.
You were here back in January.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was January. And so much has happened since January.
It has.
So much. I mean, obviously it's 6 months. Hopefully something will happen. But but since then, if you guys are unaware, if you guys are living under a rock, Nicole and I have been doing gallery readings together. I go up to New Hampshire to help her with her Angel Kisses gallery reading, and this past Sunday she was able to come to Taunton, Mass for my Spirit Connections gallery reading.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting because then you can get two of us for the price of one, so I think that's great.
And they're fun.
Yeah.
We're entertaining.
It is. I thought it was fun.
And actually on Sunday we had lights flickering and all kinds of fun stuff going on.
And that was amazing. Steph, you were there on
Yes,
Sunday.
I was.
So you were there to witness the lights flickering, and
Right.
it was almost as if it was, they were answering back because we
Kind of like what we do in investigations with flashlights.
exactly.
The funny part, I didn't get to tell you girls because I was so tired, I just went home, was when I originally walked in the room, the lights started flickering before you guys even
Really?
got down there. And I think it was Alyssa and Jeannie that went and fixed the lights so that way they were steady. And then toward the end of the night, they started doing it again almost on command. So I thought it was kind of funny. It was like the energy was just building up in the beginning. They got fixed, and then...
Well, when I was reading
didn't.
Todd,
Yep.
I would ask him a question, and he would answer.
Yep.
What I would tell him something from his grandmother, and they would start flickering as soon as he answered.
Yeah.
Like she was going, yay! She was really excited. So it was. I thought it was awesome. I
It
love
was
that
fun.
stuff.
And Nicole's always asking us about paranormal and
Yeah.
I'm curious. Tell me about
Yeah.
some of the places you've been. And so that kind of stuff happens when we go on.
Well,
certain
I
places,
just
and
I'm
it's
curious to see if things fly across the room, and
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
I have a good friend of mine, and she is a medium, but she doesn't really work as a medium, but she's definitely, has gifts. And a long time ago when she was a teenager, she actually was at home alone, and on her counter she had a row of photographs and frames, and they were all facing forward so that you could see them. And she kept feeling like somebody was there, and she wasn't really, just okay, just go away. And she felt like it was more of a lower energy of some sort. And so she thought she heard her mom come in. Her mom did not come in. And when she went back into the kitchen, all of the photographs were turned the opposite way. And to this day, that's why one of her fears is that happened. Because all of the photographs turned the opposite way. And I'm like, I don't know. I think
Was
it's
it a
fascinating.
photograph of a particular person, do you
No,
think?
it was
or-
like
Every
5 of
single
them.
one of them, yeah.
Just 5? Really?
So, but I don't have those kind of experiences, so.
It's very interesting because, just like yourself, Steph and I operate on a love and light type
Right.
basis. So when we go in there, it's not like we're provoking or trying to raise up bad, negative vibes. It's pretty much trying to just kind of get the story behind the history of it.
I get a lot of questions by email about that, about the paranormal, and is there evil spirits, or there hauntings and all of this. And I would just say they're a little confused. They're just
Yeah.
stopping by. There can be, the grandmother who had the house from the 1800s, and now there's a single girl living there. She has a lot of men. This is just my example. I don't know why, but she has a lot of men there, and the woman thinks it's a brothel. She doesn't know any different, so she's kind of, taunting the girl. Ask her to stop, and she will, and 9 out of 10 times they do.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they're just kind of holding their territory. That's probably a great
Exactly.
example.
Well, no, it's true, but I mean that kind of just as I'm thinking about as you're talking and Steph's talking, I'm thinking there's so many of us out there that always ask us for signs from our loved one that's passed. So just because a house is active doesn't mean it's from someone you don't know. It very well could be
Right.
from someone that you do know. So it could be the lights flickering.
Have you been to
and
my house?
I know. So
I
what,
t- I t- I
do you
talked-
want to share what happens at your house?
Oh,
or?
I don't mind. I mean, I talk to the dishwasher. My son, his lights flicker, and he'll call me from his cell phone, Mom, come up here now, and his lights are going on and off. And I mean, my dishwasher is a huge thing. And I actually have it on my phone because I recorded it, and I probably seem like a crazy woman, but I'm talking to it.
Yeah.
And I'm literally like, Zachary, if this is you, just let me know. Now, he knows my number is 22. It goes all the way through, stops at 22.
Oh, wow.
And my youngest son, Nicholas, was there. So then Nicholas is like, I'm kind of getting scared. And I said, why? It's your brother. Don't be afraid. And he's a medium. So I'm like, well, don't worry about it. It's fine. And he's like, all right. And so I said, Zachary, can you please stop? Because, Nicholas is getting scared. It shuts off. So then I go, all right, just turn it back on for me. Goes right back on. I'm like, I love this. Like, I'm having a field day. And I was like, if your dad comes in and sees me talking to the dishwasher, he's going to be really concerned.
Right.
Can you please put it on the rinse cycle?
Yeah.
Thanks.
My husband's going to think I lost it. I mean, not that he doesn't already, but
I know. It's just part of our life.
it is. And,
Yeah.
we go through a lot of light bulbs, and it's just what we do.
It's
I lose
just- it's-
speakers.
I love it because, and I'm going to bring this up. I don't know if I can. Can I mention a show on TV, or do I have to be
I think
vague about
so.
it? I can say a title? Okay. So, and I think I'd mentioned this to you because I thought of you when they aired it. Ghost Adventures, back in April, had an episode, and it was someone who actually worked on the show. His daughter had a sudden passing. So, usually the whole idea of the show is to go into the most haunted places and see what they can conjure up. And this show is dedicated to the daughter because it was right around her anniversary. And so they actually did an investigation. It wasn't so much I don't want to call it an investigation, but they used their equipment to see if they could pick up on anything. Now, during readings, you guys know a lot of times people will bring their digital voice recorders to tape their their readings, or their tablets, or whatever it is that they have, and they always ask if it's okay. And so that's pretty much what they were doing, and they were doing it on TV. And they were able to get a lot of EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena, and which is when people bring their recording devices, that's what they're hoping to get through their readings. So it was just it was a different take on the show, and I kind of had a new respect for them, so to speak, because I really enjoyed it, and I wanted you to watch it too.
I know,
'cause
you
was
called
like,
me.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
said, "You
it's
have to
not
watch
scary,
it."
don't worry about it.
I don't like scary stuff, so.
So exactly, but it was just good because there is so much of it out, and where the whole paranormal field is kind of haywire and out of whack, and everyone is all about paranormal. There's again, instead of just finding out the history of things, there's also a story behind the history. So
Do
go
you
ahead.
find when you do readings, if people are recording them, that there's issues all the time? Because there's always issues with my poor clients recording anything that we do. It'll stop. They'll record the whole thing. They'll go home and it has never recorded. There are so many issues with it. So I don't know if you had that problem. I don't know if it was just me.
No, it's always in the beginning. Like, wait, did I start it? No, did I stop? No, it stopped. Did it stop? Wait, I just have to check it. Or in the middle of a reading,
Yeah.
I think I have to check that. It's always. Again,
I can't
not
even
me
count.
saying stop or start. It's always
Right.
the person receiving the reading.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times it's happened to me.
Yeah.
Well, not to me, to them. And I
Right.
feel so bad. So I forewarn people now. I said, you can record anything you want, but I can't guarantee it's going to record.
Exactly.
So
I wish you guys were there Sunday night to see the lights flicker, though.
I know,
That
it's
was
really cool.
amazing. I loved it.
did you see that?
What? No.
Yeah, they
They were
Oh,
playing
they
with the
flickered.
lights.
Oh, I can't. See, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm pretty much.
Well, it was only
It's bright that
above-
way too, so
It was only above her, so you might not have been able to see it.
Oh,
but
okay.
She went
I saw
dark
it.
all of a sudden and then came back.
I was like, oh.
So,
Now I'm just blind.
well, we wanted to tell everybody too that we are going to be doing another gallery reading this summer. So, New Hampshire, and then hopefully back
Yep.
down this way too, because I know a lot of you guys are from the South Shore, Massachusetts area.
Yeah, and there was a great crowd, and
It was a great crowd.
I had a good time.
I'm glad.
It was fun.
I had fun.
Todd
Sometimes
Mooney
I talk
stopped
too
by.
much, but
I know, we always do. We end
No.
up talking a lot. That's true.
Your mom is great, by the way. I
Oh,
gotta tell
thank you.
was
She
such a
loves you
love.
guys. She's like, tell the girls I say hi.
Yeah, she was
I'm
such
gonna
a
be
love.
watching tonight. She's so excited.
Hi, Mom. She was
I felt
awesome.
bad towards the end. I caught myself like leaning on her. I'm like, oh, this isn't rude or anything. I was like, so wait a minute, you over there, hold on. It's kind of, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should
No big deal.
shoes off. I just get comfy.
That's you. That's you.
That's all right.
Make it like it's at home.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm just very comfortable in my own skin sometimes. Sometimes. But anyways, so Nicole, for all you guys who didn't have the chance to watch the show back in January, Nicole is a spirit medium and Reiki master. And what she does is the same stuff as myself. I'm also that. And so isn't
I'm one of
Steph.
those.
Yes. So there's 3 of us here tonight that do the same thing. But what Nicole does, she actually is able to travel all over to share her gift. And there's something special about you. And if you want to explain,
Don't make me cry.
special about you. No, but she touches a lot of people, and there's a special group of people that she has a connection with, which are
Bereaved parents.
bereaved parents. And through that, can you tell me a little bit about how, not so much how the readings, it's not the readings, but through that, what do you offer for bereaved parents?
I'm in their shoes. I get it. I'm a bereaved parent. I say this in the kindest way. There are 2 groups of people. There are bereaved parents, and then there are the others.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's it is what it is. And I think that when you go through some kind of, I know that we all go through tragedies, and I have respect for all of that. But when you go through the passing of a child, it's part of your soul, and your heart goes with them. So I just, and I love the kids. Like I just have this. I don't even know how to put it into words. You can't articulate it because it's like this feeling, just because when I meet with these parents and I know what they're sitting there thinking, like they want to connect with their children so desperately. They want to know that they're okay. They just want to hear that, one word or that little something just to know that they're okay. Because that's, as parents, all we ever want for our children is for them to be okay. And, even if they are there and, okay, it's just my heart and soul is into it. And I love the kids. Love the kids. They just come to me all the time. Like, for some reason, I'm like a magnet to children. It's like my forte, and I love it.
Can I just, did you see that?
That wasn't me.
I did, but I didn't know if it was them playing a joke again. So.
No, it wasn't.
Well, there was a light. I don't know if it happened in the where Carl's sitting or if it was in here, but
Yes,
the
it
lights
did.
did.
Wasn't
But
me.
I do want to mention when I was up in New Hampshire with you, the last time I was up in New Hampshire for was it May? Yeah, last month was May. So it was a Angel Kisses reading that we did together.
Yeah.
Of course, when you do a reading, you don't know who is going to be there or who they want to come through. But I kept on getting all these energies speaking over each other frequently. And I said, this is just so weird. They keep on interrupting me. And it's, I'm getting pulled by this name and then that name and going back and forth. And Nicole looks at me and she goes, Tiff, they're kids. That's what they do. And so I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. They're the same way.
That's what they do. They're
But
the
it's
same
just-
way.
It's just funny because,
Yeah.
when I had the opportunity, and I do have the opportunity to work with you, there are a lot of children that come through, but it's just funny to me because they came in abundance, and I was, wait, what's going on? Tiff, they're kids. Oh, that's, okay, so that makes sense.
Even
But-
Sunday night, like immediately, the mom's son who came through.
Yes.
Because I'm just, I don't know. I think that all of us have gifts, and that we're all drawn to a certain area of forte.
Yes, yeah.
I
I
have
was
a
just gonna
very
use
good
that
friend.
word too. Is that German?
I don't know.
Forte. Google someone, please. Thank you. It's
yeah.
French. Did you say Indian?
No.
Oh.
I said yeah.
Sorry.
And a friend of mine, she loves helping suicide survivors.
Mhm.
That's just her forte. And mine is the kids. Like, they literally pull on me, and I can't tell you every single reading, and I love all of my readings. I absolutely love them all. But I cannot tell you every one of my readings But I can tell you every one of the children, in last year I did over 200 bereaved parent readings. And I can tell you every child and tell you about them, and it's like they're, in some crazy way, they're like my children now. I am like territorial over them. So, and they help me. They're huge, huge helpers to me. They help me not only with readings for anyone else, but also with other children. So if I'm doing a reading for a child, a parent, and another child has passed with a similar condition or anything, that other child will pop right up and be like, "Hey, remember me?" and kind of help me out.
See, I think that's amazing.
It really is.
It's funny, I don't know if you were able to catch last week's show, but we had Gretchen Pine on, and she is a bereaved parent as well. And she was in Maureen Hancock's book.
Okay.
And the chapter is about her daughter, Lulu, who passed.
Okay.
And she uses that as, she actually is able to channel through Lulu, and she writes children's books.
Yeah.
And she does a lot of work with bereaved parents, and she was saying that, through this, you could either curl up and not get out of bed in the morning,
or you can be the facilitator for your child,
and that's exactly,
and keep them alive, because that's what I feel I do, is that I keep my son alive.
Right.
I don't think that he's ever far anyways. And don't get me wrong, I would change things if I could. I'm not gonna
say
deny that.
Well,
I'm not. Oh yeah, he's
it's
fine. So I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with it. I would change it in a second, but I do know he's okay, and I definitely believe that we work together, and I'm a facilitator for him. Right. He's helping from that end. I'm helping over here. I'm his mouth.
And
only he was a little nicer. He wasn't so outspoken. He actually was extremely shy and quiet. So when he would speak, I'd have to, "Zachary, speak up," because he would say, "Mom," he would whisper all the time. And I always had to say, "Speak up, I can't hear you." That's what I used to yell at him about. "Talk louder."
And now he has the lights going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love it though. Do you have any questions, Steph?
I
heard you typing, so that's why I thought I'd ask.
I've been just answering a few general questions, nothing too specific so far. Someone was inquiring about the person, you mentioned the suicide survivors, the one that works with suicide survivors.
Yeah.
What their name is?
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
I actually, I can't disclose it.
Oh, okay.
I can't for another, I can't.
Okay.
I sort of can't. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
They were just looking to see if they could speak with
I
them.
can tell you that there's years of a waiting list. So
Okay. They're watching anyway, so I'm sure they saw that. The obvious question, does Nicole connect with her son often?
no, it doesn't work like that. I wish it did. I don't trust it for myself. It's not the same as what people would think. I do communicate with him, but and I haven't actually in a long time. I talk to the dishwasher now. I literally and I was you took it out of my mouth, and that is why we have colleagues. And Tiffany will give me readings, and they're random. I don't call her and say, "Can you give me a reading?" She'll just say, "Oh," and whatever it is. I do connect with him, but I still look for signs. And it's not. I don't sit down and eat breakfast with him. He has told me extremely validating things for my husband, and even my husband, I can't just read for him. I have to text him because I'm too nervous. It's hard to connect with my own child, though. He's my child.
Right.
And then it's also hard to decipher. I am clairvoyant, so I can see him, and I don't ever deny that. I know that I'm seeing him. But when I hear, "Mom, I love you," I go, "I was just thinking that." It was me, and I have to. And then I can see him, and I'm like, I'm not crazy.
Right, because even though we may be mediums, we're still human too.
Oh yeah.
So you have that self-doubt of like, am I hearing this right now? Or it's easier to get a reading from a friend rather than trying to do it yourself.
It is.
And
Tiffany's awesome.
Thanks. That was amazing. The first time.
And my brother came through. That was awesome. That was great. My brother passed.
They were together.
And my dad came through.
Oh yeah, and your dad came.
I
brought the whole
entourage.
family through. I was like,
I had a busy 3 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But see, now they're all all three of them are together.
Actually, I think that Zachary watches over my dad and my brother. They're probably up to no good over there, but they're so good.
They're still hanging at the club.
Yeah, exactly. Having a beer together.
Yeah.
That's them.
But it is, you brought up, it's nice to have colleagues and people that you can count on, because we're constantly giving, whether it's a healing session or whether it's giving a reading, and it's just nice to get something in return like that too. Like every once in a while, someone will speak up and say, "Oh, by the way, blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, I needed that, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It does help.
Because like Steph said, we are human first, and sometimes we ignore it.
I wonder. I think I'm in the cosmos alone.
Oh, I definitely
One
am.
foot in each world.
I am, no doubt, all the
I
time.
really, don't you feel like that?
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of stuck in between sometimes, in that in between space. It's not a bad place at all.
No, people used to tell me, because I had a huge problem with what my teachers would call daydreaming when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And on every single report card, it would say, "Can't stop daydreaming," because I was just constantly talking to spirit. I was a kid. I didn't know. This was what my home life was like. And going to a Catholic school, I couldn't tell anybody that. So how it was explained to me maybe 5 to 8 years ago was, you have one foot on the other side and one foot here. And that's why you're the medium. You're the in-between. So
That's why I always say we have one foot in each world,
Yep.
and we are in that in between
And it totally makes
state.
sense.
And we are out there.
But it's true, like the incomplete thoughts.
It is, and you and I do it all the time, and we'll just talk and
we
not
stop.
finish, but we know what we're saying,
Yeah.
and we get it, and it's really awesome. My husband's not very good at it.
No,
He doesn't
I
know
know,
how
you
to
try
play
to
that
do it
game
with like
very
a
well.
regular person, and
What
they're
are
like,
you
I don't understand. I'm like,
saying?
how can you not understand
I know,
that?
and
you get so aggravated.
Yeah, you
it's
do.
so
Because
frustrating.
it's so frustrating. Because I'll
I'm
say
like,
something.
What do you mean?
I'm like,
Like,
I
you don't
told
get
you
it?
this.
He's
I
like-
told you this an hour ago. No, you didn't say it out loud. Is now the response I get. You didn't get it. You didn't say it out loud. I'm like, but I grew up with my mother who is, but wants nothing to do with it. So I constantly communicate with her telepathically, and I don't even realize it. I think I'm saying it out loud, and I'm not.
Right.
And my poor husband, when I go home, I'm still stuck in that mode, and he's like, he gets so frustrated because he wants to understand,
Right.
but can't.
Right.
I love
right.
hearing that, because it's like somebody
Yep.
gets it. Because Mike and I are like that, and he's like, you did not tell me that. Yes, I did. He's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm like,
Like I said.
I know that I did, though. You know.
Somewhere you did. Somewhere
I
along the line you did.
Hey.
One thing I was going to also bring up is when we do gallery readings, and not just the private one-on-ones, but the gallery readings, it's amazing how spirit guides us.
They do. It's all them.
It's
We
all
work for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I always say we work for them and not for our audience. It's the truth, though. We
It's-
really do. They technically they pay us. However, they guide us.
Exactly, and we're merely just the messengers, as far
Yeah.
as we're just on the receiving line. So we're just getting the call. You know, unfortunately, we don't have any control of who calls us.
And it's always, you feel bad when somebody doesn't get
I
read.
know.
And it's not that their loved ones don't want to hear from them. Hear from them? Talk to them.
Talk to them.
Talk
yeah.
to them or speak to them. But we have to go with the loudest and clearest, and who is, just right there.
Right.
And there can be several, and I always call it spirit etiquette, and I'll say, okay, you need to separate, I need the loudest and clearest to come forward. And what I say is that those other loved ones are very polite, and they're just waiting their turn.
Right, they're waiting their turn, or maybe, again, how you say the loudest and the clearest, if you're trying to connect with someone who is maybe a little bit soft-spoken or not really good in crowds, chances are they're probably not going to have this deep, meaningful
Right.
message right in front of the crowd. You're probably going to get the message after you leave, or,
Right.
at another time, because I actually had just posted this on Facebook, Spirit Medium Tiffany.
Plug.
Or TiffanyRice.com, whichever. But I just posted this, is that now I just lost my train of thought. But basically we're not on
Demand.
demand.
No, I wish that we were. And you know, I was just talking to Stephanie about this woman, Helen, who came to me, and how spirit knows. And it's like they will plan everything. So when someone does come to you for a private reading, I'm not guaranteeing that, you know, the person that they want to come through is always going to come through.
Right.
However, I have found it time and time again, and this was something that recently happened. So I was connecting with a woman, Helen, and my friends, I was even texting, do you know Helen? Is your mother Helen? And this became a little ridiculous. Like I was, you know, asking everybody. So I was in Dick's Sporting Good with my husband on Friday night. So I'm in there and he's fishing and I'm looking at Facebook. He's looking at fishing stuff.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah.
Facebook.
You don't want to do that while your husband's looking at fishing.
Security.
Yeah.
Yes.
While your husband's looking at fishing stuff. So he's looking at fishing stuff, and I ran out of things to purchase at this point. So I'm looking at Facebook or whatever, and my assistant Michelle texts me, and she says, "Can you do me a favor? I have people from Arizona. They're here for the weekend. They really need a reading, so on and so forth. Do you think that you could just fit them in?" So I said, "Okay, why don't I do it? You know, the next day and da 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 da." Well, right at that moment, Helen was strong again immediately, and I'm thinking. So I text her back, I go, "Do they have a Helen connection?" She goes, "I don't know, you're gonna see them, I have no idea." So the next day they come over and I immediately asked them about Helen. At first she was like, "That's really strange, but continue on." I continued on with this Helen. Do you know that she had been thinking over the last month of this woman, my client had been thinking of this woman Helen over the last month, because when she was 5 years old, she did something mean to her. She was trying to she wanted to make amends with her. So this had been going on for like 50 years.
Right.
And she wanted to, over the last month, to make amends with people in her life and, you know, whatnot. And she kept thinking of Helen and just, you know, kept saying, "I really wish I could say I'm sorry for being mean to her when we were 5 and all of this stuff." And Helen, I didn't even know I had the appointment with her when Helen first started coming to me, but Helen knew because Helen came through with very validating information for her. And I was like,
I love that.
I was in such, it was on my Facebook. Like I had to post this whole thing
Right.
because I was in such shock about it, of how it's all in divine order and they plan it.
It really is.
So
They
so
do.
Helen really made the appointment, kind of, you know.
I was at Uplifting Connections on Saturday, and it was the same thing. Everybody that I was reading, it was, you know, someone for the reading next would come up beforehand. So, yeah, I love it. It is.
Like,
it's all divine order.
It is.
And what I was going to say is that even if you don't get a reading at a gallery reading, or, you know, you're trying so hard to like, oh, hopefully I can dream of them. Whether it's a dream, whether it's animals, cardinals, dragonflies, feathers, anything like that, they will find ways to connect.
They will, absolutely.
No matter what. They will. It's just, and it's whatever they choose. Remember, we are pretty much at their beck and call. It's not, you know, you can put your thoughts and intentions of like, I hope it's a dream, I hope it's a dream, and they may show up with something else. I did a reading, and it was pretty funny because, you know, the terms pennies from heaven.
Yeah.
Okay? So a lot of times, pennies from heaven, you'll find pennies when you're thinking of that loved one that's passed, or, you know, they leave you pennies. Well, I was giving this woman a reading, and her husband, who had just passed a little while ago, said...
I'm sorry, I'm breaking your
Oh,
chair.
no, that's okay.
I'm like, I just
It's
broke
supposed
the
to do
chair.
that. No.
I'm sorry. Continue.
He tells me, he goes, "Forget pennies, she wants quarters." Just like that. So
It's true, they
so
will.
I told her, I go, "You know the term pennies from heaven? He just said, forget pennies, he wants quarters." And she goes, "That's really funny, because I was trying to find a necklace that he gave me that morning before I came here. I opened up one of his old drawers, and it was filled with quarters."
Well, did you see that?
Yes.
The reading I was just telling you about with Helen,
Yeah.
actually that was, I said the same exact thing that you said. I said, "Have you ever heard of pennies from heaven?" Well, it was her grandmother was also coming through,
Right.
and it wasn't pennies, it was dimes, and she was making them in a circle. And
Yes, yes.
She found all these dimes in a circle.
We
It was
talked,
like,
yes, we
yeah.
talked about
I'm
that.
like, you said
And
the
then
same
that's
thing
it,
I
yeah,
said.
because I remember
Yeah.
she was telling me about the dimes, and I said,
Yeah.
I had quarters,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty
They're just,
funny.
I know, they're cool spirits.
I love it. Give us more, please. We like it.
I know.
Speaking of more
Yes.
more
Okay.
questions.
I have a couple more. Does Nicole ever do random readings for someone she is passing by or standing near?
No. Well, it depends on who it is. Like it depends on the situation. If I'm at an afterlife convention, yes, I know that they're open to it. I think
like the grocery store.
Not like the
not
Long
the-
Island medium style.
not me. I don't
Yeah.
know. No, I love her. I think she's incredible. I'm not saying anything about
I
her.
know.
But I think that you have to realize that people have already signed waivers when she's walking around.
Right.
I would
Producer
never,
TV, not reality. I always say that.
Well, I just would never want to offend anyone if they weren't
Right.
open to it, if they
Right.
weren't ready for it. I feel that if they want the message, they will end up with me or come to me. But I think she's phenomenal. I'm not.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
She's a wonderful
Absolutely.
medium,
Mm-hmm.
and she has an awesome show. I love it. But I'm a big chicken. I don't know. I don't want to offend
Right.
anyone.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, I mean, it's hard because we do carry, we always talk about this, is that we do carry a lot of responsibility with the gift as well. And you never know what state of mind someone is in. You might be having someone yelling at you, but at the same time, just because someone seems to be put together on the outside, they may not be put
It's
together.
the
So-
only thing I will admit that I am a habitual offender of is if I know someone, even at an arm's length, if I am connecting with somebody, just to see, feel them out. Maybe I shouldn't say this on this. I'll say, I had a dream of your so-and-so. And this is how I used to do it too before. The lights just keep flickering.
Yes,
Do you see this?
yeah,
Okay.
I did see that.
So I'll say that I had a dream and see kind of what they say.
Mhm.
And if they're like, oh, and I know that they're open, and then I'll kind of lead into it more if they don't know what I do already.
Right.
And I will also say that on Facebook, I will tell bereaved parents when their children are coming through. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I've literally got out of bed at 1 o'clock in the morning because I had, little Izzy pulling at me or whoever, and I had to do it. Didn't matter. And so I will tell that.
Very cool. The next one was actually a question that I have to tell you about because normally I would just cross it off my list if you answered it. The question came up and it was, can you talk more about your recent blog post about Helen? And as she typed that, I said, yes. And then you immediately started talking about Helen.
Oh.
So I thought it was kind of funny.
Were we sending messages? See, we were reading
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
With my telepathic
Yes.
waves going that way, but it was so funny. I do that as
Can you
like,
teach my husband that?
as long as you teach mine. We'll sit them down in a class. We're going to learn ESP today, children.
I am having a development class coming up on July 14th.
I was
Would you
just-
like to join us?
We should.
Steph and I will take the drive.
Yeah,
Oh, you guys can come up.
Yeah.
Of course.
we'll come visit.
That'll be so much fun.
We'll
We
hang
can
out in
bring
your
you.
pool.
Yeah, the pool will be
We'll
open,
just
so
wait
they'll
for
just be in the
you. No.
backyard. I'm like, what are they doing?
Nothing. Hey, pass the volleyball.
I'll be right back. You guys work.
We'll have the umbrellas in our drinks.
I know.
How's it going, Nicole? Need some help yet?
No, but you guys would be great
I wanted the seal raft. No.
mentors. Okay, serious
Sorry.
talk.
See,
As long as I get the alligator.
We could have them read you guys. Because at the end, I paired them up.
Okay.
And you guys, we could read
Yeah,
you
we
I
guys.
can
can't
do
do it
that.
the 14th because I have a wedding to go to.
Oh, well.
We'll
But
cancel
you
the
can
wedding.
I know. But if you have another one,
I will. Well, I'm probably not in
Oh, yeah,
July.
that's
I'm
right.
going to Seattle. I have a show coming up there in the Afterlife Conference, which I'm really excited about.
It's
It's an
exciting.
Afterlife Connection conference for 2 days.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's about the guided afterlife communication.
Yep.
and
I'm
so they
excited.
have
Many speakers,
there,
yeah.
lecturers.
Yeah. Craig Hogan, Rochelle Wright, Mark Ireland will be there. And it'll be really interesting.
That
Cheryl
sounds
Hill. So
See,
it'll
this
be
is what
nice.
we need to get down this way, Steph, because everything
Right.
I hear of is paranormal. So I would like
Right.
to have.
Well, I think it's
well,
because
it's like a
the-
I don't-
paranormal
yeah.
convention. So that's why I'm saying, I would love to have a spiritual convention or.
Well, let's have one. We'll
yeah.
just
Why
plan it.
not?
And ask your readers. Ask your readers. Ask your peeps. If
Town
they're
Holiday
interested.
Inn, they were
Holiday-
great. They were great to us. So.
That was
Holiday
actually a
Holiday
really nice
Inn.
Holiday Inn.
It really
It
was.
was. I
'Cause
think
we
they
went to
redid
one.
it.
Yeah, we went to one that it was a little shady.
Yeah,
But the people
the
were
last one I
awesome.
stayed in, I could sit here and tell you horror stories for the next 3 hours. It was horrible. Like, this place is really nice. The one I went to is
It
horrible.
was really
Yeah.
nice there. I mean, I thought it was great.
Yeah, that would be
That
great
was
to do
great.
because
We-
I think it's probably because we live in the Bridgewater Triangle. So
We
everything
do
is like,
get a lot of
we have a lot of
paranormal.
paranormal things
I didn't even think of
happen.
that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
my
yeah.
husband works with somebody who is from the Bridgewater Triangle.
Right.
And it was like this big deal, and I'm like, oh, that's where Tiff's from. Like, it was so matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
He's like, really? Like, you know, and they were saying how the home was haunted and all of that, and they sold it. And
So much. There's
But-
so much.
Maybe we'll just have to take a trip out to Seattle too. We'll see what
Yeah.
it's like, and then we'll bring it back here.
Yeah.
it's on, check my website under.
We'll be flying
When am I
with you.
going?
Oh, okay. The reading with you? No.
We'll just jump in your suitcase.
Actually, I'm
coming.
booked. No.
I'm booked. Not enough for you.
Yeah.
You're not
Well, I'm
allowed.
going to Minnesota. When am I going? I don't remember my dates for anything. I lose
22nd.
track. See, I am a bereaved parent in that respect, as I
The
lose track of dates.
22nd you're
Thank
going.
you. I will be in Minnesota, so we still have tickets available
I
for
know.
that. So that's supposed to be interesting and fun. It's at the Marsh, which I heard is absolutely amazing. It's a whole spiritual center.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah. And
See, this-
Cheryl Hill will be there doing book signings. So
There's so much out there and available to everybody if you just do a little bit of research. I know you're constantly posting on your website, which is.
oh, are you asking me?
That was your
I thought you were
segue.
going to say which is nice.
Which is on the bottom of our screen.
Which
so if
is-
you do
Yes.
Oh. It is
there you go.
You can find all your event information.
Yes, under events.
Which is good. Which is good. Now, are you still accepting private readings? Or?
Yeah. I am. The weight's a little bit out there, but I like doing private readings.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
It's very it's personal. And
It is. It's
sometimes people don't go. I mean, I know the gallery readings are great because people, you know, people like to go and be a part of it. And maybe they have a friend that wants them to go with them, what have you. But sometimes people don't like to share their personal information
Right.
because we know Spirit doesn't have a filter as far as, you know, what they want to say. A lot of times they'll just come straight out, be very blunt.
And that's when I go,
With a
can I
lot.
say anything here? Or is there anything off limits? But yeah, I like to do private readings because of that, because there is that, you know, one-on-one connection, and it's just,
Mhm.
you know, it's a lot more in detail than, you know, when you do a show or an event.
Exactly.
So I like
Exactly.
doing those.
But if you're not ready for a private connection,
Yes.
there
Then
is
the angel kisses are a lot of fun.
the angel kisses.
They're highly
spirit
entertaining.
connections, Yep. And
say the
then you
least.
can go to a convention, and hopefully we can get one going up around this area for everybody, because I always feel like they're always out west somewhere.
They
around-
really
because
are.
whenever time I talk to you, you're like, oh, there's one here and there's one
Yeah.
there, and I'm like, oh yeah, hopping on the plane again. But we have to figure out something to do in the Massachusetts-New Hampshire line.
Yeah, I'm going
I think
to
that'd be
Philly and Erie as well in November, so that I'm excited about. So those tickets will be on sale soon. If there's any watchers, not readers, watchers out there. And hopefully my Angel Kisses Comfort Caroline will be out.
Now, tell me about that. This is something new that Nicole has brainstormed on, and it's called comfort cards.
Well, Angel Kisses Comfort
Oh,
Cards.
Angel Kisses comfort cards.
Because I can't call them greeting cards, because they're not really greeting.
they're not greeting,
Sorta,
greeting
right?
death. You know,
Well, it's not even
it's not-
just a passing card, like a sympathy card.
Okay.
But how many times, well, hopefully not that often, but when you go in to get a sympathy card, do you just read them and go, who writes this?
Right.
Right?
There's some that are
So-
very biblical, or then there's
Yeah,
some
they're-
that.
The, I end up buying the flower and just writing my own thing, you know, or something of that nature. So I have this new obsession. It's called Facebook. And I take
Figure,
these
that's
photographs and I write things on them. I write different kind of quotes, and sometimes I'll use other people's quotes and I give them credit. But a lot of the times I'll write my own, and I've become obsessed with these photographs, and people keep asking, you know, like, where do you do this? How do you do it? Can I get a copy of that? So I was talking to Michelle, and I said, Michelle, I want to make these cards because they don't have any of these,
Right.
and this is perfect.
Right.
She was like, oh my gosh, like she thought it was a wonderful idea. So we're in the works of doing that, and I just was like, let's just do it, because I think that we need it. We need, you know, I mean, they don't say like, you know, I know this day sucks, and you know, I feel bad, you know, like, I mean, they're
right.
you have to look at my Facebook page, my fan page, to see the kind of things that I guess I'm talking about. And then also, when you are grieving, it's very hard to give another, whether it's your husband, your wife, you know, a happy birthday card, because you're grieving, and There was nothing, happy about the whole entire year, and
Right.
I mean, my husband and I, we have kind of an ongoing joke that we'll cross out happy and put crappy, like just as a joke. But so there's stuff, there's cards that are geared more towards that, to kind of
Well, because
soften it.
I feel like there's a lot of people out there that don't, as much as a lot of our viewers have experienced a loss, and some of them to be a very close loss, there's a lot of people out there that haven't, so they don't quite understand exactly.
And it's to no fault of anyone.
Right, right.
I
I mean,
would
you can't-
rather
right,
not
you'd
have
rather
one
not
through
have
it.
it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of, I think, I don't know, I just want it to be different. And this is the most important part. I'm not getting anything from it as far as proceeds. All the proceeds go to my son's foundation. So everything is, whatever we make off the cards is donated to the Zachary M. Tompkins Memorial Fund in honor of him.
Which is great,
Yeah.
And Steph?
My whole chat just restarted. I am the only one in the chat room, and it says chat problem.
No, I think it's funny because
I've never had that happen.
A second ago, and I know you can't see it because you're facing me.
Yeah.
But can you see the TVs?
Yep.
Everything went dim. So what you guys are seeing, I don't know if it's coming up on your end or we're just seeing it on our end, but I have two monitors in front of me and they both went dim.
That's why you always look over there. I always look
Yep.
at you just because, I don't know,
It-
because you're so
Well,
cute. I just
Oh,
always
Nicole,
look this
come
way
on.
like I'm speaking to both of you guys. So I always sit this way.
Yeah, so
I can't get the chat back.
we can okay, so we're having issues with the chat, which is
Do you remember
fine.
last time we were here? I was here. We were here. I carry someone.
Yeah, and I had an issue with my car
Yes.
and I had to pull over.
Yes.
And
that
at
was
the-
bad.
Yeah.
The beginning of the
So-
chat, or the beginning of the show, there was a whole volume problem, and
Yeah,
it
exactly.
didn't have any
So I
volume
think
on the YouTube
Oh,
because
yeah, until,
everybody
like,
kept saying,
2:42.
yeah. No, it was 2:23.
223.
I think it was. I'm almost
Okay.
positive it was 2:23 because of the time, the 22 and the 3.
Yeah. I
So
love it though. Meanwhile, nobody can see us. It's probably like completely black. to
right
them.
now,
No, I mean, well, the monitors are on, so we should be good.
I was the
Hopefully, you
only
can hear
one
our voices like angelic beings.
in the chat. Like it just disappeared.
So,
My
what's the
little
next
smileys
event
are
coming
gone.
up for you?
Minnesota.
It is Minnesota.
Yes, it's Minnesota.
So, Minnesota is going to happen June 22nd.
Yep. And
Get your
then-
tickets.
Yes.
Take that flight.
Take the flight.
Take the flight.
Well, unless you're from Minnesota, then you can just
Right.
go right over there.
Exactly.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
And if there's any way, if you guys want, if you had an idea or even a venue for us to come do our show, we would love to, especially around this
Local,
area.
not in Minnesota.
Right, not in Minnesota,
All right.
but local,
All right,
local
'cause
in,
we're already
in the
going-
Massachusetts, Rhode Island,
Yeah,
and
I need to start doing a little more
in the New
local
Hampshire
stuff.
area, yeah.
My poor children are like, "You're leaving again," and my oldest son said to me, "So, what do you think? I can go with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
And he's driving, so I'm like, "You can be my chauffeur, seriously?"
So wait, where? Oh, I was like, wait a minute, where is he driving to?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I
but-
thought you meant Minnesota. I was like,
no, I'm flying
that's,
there.
yeah, I know. That's what I thought.
No, but I'll take him somewhere. I probably won't take him to Washington. That will be really busy. I really am booked there
Yeah.
on privates, and I have the show and I'm speaking at the seminar. So it is kind of crazy, for time. And he might get a little bit bored. He's 15 after a while of
Yeah.
hearing about spirits. He lives this, and he's just like, But my youngest son, he's asking why he's not on my brochure. I have a trifold brochure.
Right.
Why aren't I on there? I'm like, I don't know. Did you want to be? He goes, well, I think I should be, don't you? I'm like, okay, so Tiff, you might be getting the boot for Nicholas.
I know.
He'll be joining us. Well, I do the free chats,
Yeah.
during the month. I do them once a month, and it's just a free
So
chat.
tell us about that. Yeah, because
Oh,
is
that's
it
fine.
like the chat room like we have here?
Yes,
Or
mine hasn't broken down yet. So
We're back up now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Back
cool. So they're a free chat once a month, and it's whoever they allow in. The system only allows so many people in, and I just will either answer questions. If a loved one is coming through, I'll give a little mini reading, the best I can.
Right.
Like literally, there's like 500 questions coming
Right,
in, and I
right.
go. So I was thinking of having guests on there, and Nicholas will be my first guest.
That's
so
so
he,
cool.
he does readings online, and he's done them for bereaved parents, and literally the boy can be hanging off the bed, doesn't matter. He's just like, yep, you know, Kate's coming through and she's good. And I'm like, unbelievable. Here I am meditating and getting centered and balanced.
I know, it
and
takes you the
clearing
whole
out,
day, and him,
yeah,
it's like,
all
oh,
the logic out of my brain that I can, and he's hanging off the bed playing with the car. And so.
See, but I think it's because they're not as cluttered as we are.
They're not. They don't have any logic.
No.
Well, you know what I mean?
Well, it's
They
true.
really
They
don't.
don't
They don't
have
have to worry
the
about
logic that we
bills
do.
and
Right.
lunches and dinner and
They don't have that.
taking out the trash.
Exactly.
Right.
You know,
So it's
they-
very easy for them to just be like, oh,
Right. So, and sometimes he gets frustrated and he wants to shut it off. And I see him running up the stairs. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, tell them to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. You just send them to me. So,
right.
you know, but he actually, I've done readings that he has came into the room
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, with someone that I know, not just, you know,
Right,
a
like,
client.
hey, what are you guys doing?
Hey, what's up?
Right.
But he connects and he connects different. So we don't connect with the same loved one. It's really interesting. So he actually kind of confuses me sometimes.
But don't you love that though?
No.
Oh, you don't.
Because I get
See.
confused because he's connecting with a loved one, like, you know, so he's connecting with dad, but I'm connecting with mom.
Right.
And he's saying different things. And then I'm like, so I can feel the energy of dad. It just gets too confusing for me. Like you and I work well, and I'm sure he will when he's older and gets a little more
Right,
fine-tuned.
right.
But we take turns. And I always talk with my hands everywhere. I'm Italian. But, you know, like, we just take turns and do our thing.
Right.
And Nick's just like, da, 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 da. He's wicked cute, though.
I like it though. I like
Yeah.
it because that's usually if you do go to a gallery event of ours, we do. We start off one and then we just take
Yeah.
turns and
So we just kind
it's
of,
good.
and then we interview when we need to.
I know, and I like it.
And I really like a microphone if I have it.
That was
know.
funny.
I lost the speaker for like hours.
The part that I loved about that whole story was that Tiffany was trying to convince you to just bring the microphone. And Todd and I were laughing so hard
Oh, but-
because we just know that's how Tiffany
But
is.
see, the thing that you don't know is the microphone is still in my bag because I put it in
Oh, that's awesome.
and it's still in my bag.
Did you go home and immediately go to the closet to look for your speaker?
No, my husband found it when I was
I know,
on the
but did you
road.
just
oh,
go
yeah,
look to
I did.
see,
Of course I
like-
did. I opened it. It was right where I had looked.
Oh my
It was
god.
right there. Like,
So Nicole just likes to hold a microphone
I-
just during the event. So I'm thinking, like, well, I could probably find a microphone somewhere. I'm like, I think we might
you
have
have a Fisher
a,
Price
I
one.
do like.
I might have a Fisher Price one at the house. I'm not sure. So
I just.
Nicole's like, yes, bring it, please. I'm like, it hasn't. It's the big one.
It's got the cord.
You're walking
carry
over
the
the record
box.
player. A record player and a microphone. Sorry.
It's a comfort thing. Are we getting in trouble? What happened?
Oh,
What?
can you hear? Can you hear? Okay.
Hear what?
Wait, can you hear that? No. We thought that we couldn't hear.
We can't hear?
No. Just no.
Nothing?
Just let it go.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll take a drink.
We're
more.
good.
Do you have a microphone I can hold?
Da 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 da.
That was
Should I get it out of my
hilarious.
bag?
Because we tell Tiff all the time she needs to write a book on like Tiffisms because the stuff that she comes out with sometimes is so awesome. Like it's so blunt, so real, so makes no sense, but it's
is.
just
But it's true.
it's so
And it's
funny.
true. It's
So
true. I don't.
I will make my cards, and you can make a calendar with your daily.
With my
Oh, I
brain.
love
No.
it. I love
No.
it.
People- no, well, some of the stuff I say, I'm gonna be honest. Is not that uplifting.
It's
so
just
that's
really-
the best part is
That's
to
the
be truthful and raw.
It's-
That's what they want to hear.
People are like,
that we walk into doors because we think they're going to open.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm a very real, real person.
Did you understand that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the funniest thing is my husband showed me a video,
Mhm.
and he goes, "I think that they caught you on a video at Target or wherever." Is something else going on now?
No.
All right.
Just looking.
Okay.
Wait, they caught you on video at Target?
Yeah, this is what he's telling me, and I
Okay.
said, "What?"
This is random. Why is he? Does he do
I'm
security
gonna
at
tell
Target?
you,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
So he's watching a video on the computer, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I think they caught you on a video." And I was like, "What did I do?" So I'm watching the video with him, and there's a girl, and she's standing there, like waiting for the door to open, and it doesn't open. And she walks into the door. It doesn't open. The door is actually over here.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "They caught you," and I was like, he was being wise.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
it wasn't me that time. So I'll fully admit it. So I forget what my whole point of this was. What was my point of this?
No, we were talking about Tiffisms and just the funny bluntness.
But there was a point to his story.
I hate when I do that.
I know.
I do it a lot.
She threw me off because she was looking back there and she's like,
You know,
she's like talking behind me. And I'm like, what's going on behind us?
You never
is it?
know.
I don't know.
just talking to Billy.
It's
No, I'm
Jimmy.
just kidding. Jimmy. Jimmy, Billy. That's
So,
funny.
any questions,
Yeah, are there any questions since the chat room went down?
Not at the moment, no. But Todd and Sarah wanted to let you know that they absolutely loved your readings. And they had such a good time on Sunday.
Thank
and Todd
you.
let his mom know about your reading, and she cried and everything. She loved it. She says to say thank you. So
She's so very welcome.
I love it.
I know, I love that. See, that's like the...
And that's what it is. It's like the people that give us the feedback afterwards that will send us take the time to send us an email. We do get them, you know, and
I got
hearing
yelled
how
at
much-
today, though.
Yeah, sometimes we do get yelled at.
I got
It's a
yelled at
frequent,
today.
unfortunately, it's frequent.
I had a free giveaway, and someone didn't get chosen, so they yelled at
no.
me online. I don't even choose, like, we just go through random.org. We put all the names in, I can't choose, you know, so my assistant puts them in, Michelle does it all. And she yelled at us. Well, she yelled at me, not really us. She said, I'm unliking your page, or
You
fraud.
can't win.
you're
Yeah,
a fraud, huh?
Because I didn't choose her
Wow.
for the giveaway. And I choose 11 people. I chose,
You choose. I like that.
I chose 11 people. Well, we chose 11 people. And I felt so bad. Like, I really felt bad that she was hurt.
Right.
But I knew that she was angry and she's grieving, because that's,
Right.
you know, obviously the people I work
Right.
with. But I really felt bad that she was that angry. And then, you know, I called Michelle and stuff, and then we were talking about it. Like, I'm the scapegoat. That's okay.
know.
She's angry. She's hurting. And
Well, it's hard too, because being in the position that we're in, we want to please everyone. We want to
Yeah.
get to every single person.
I'm learning, though.
And I know, and
put
it's hard, and
boundaries.
you have to set boundaries, and you know, you want to give, and unfortunately, there are boundaries.
You have to.
You know,
We
and-
have to have it with everything. It's all about balance.
Right.
And you
So
know,
we're
through-
sorry that we infuriate you in order like that much to, you know, spend
We're-
enough time to give us a hateful email or a
We're not going to make everyone
phone call
happy.
or yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't
that's the
please
thing. It's
everyone.
like,
do, we
especially with a
can't.
contest. A contest, that's the whole thought of it is to win. Like, there's only a certain amount of tickets, only a certain amount of. I mean, but I don't care if it's a contest for your show or if it's a contest to win a T-shirt. You know, it's the same thing. Like,
I was
that's
just
why it's a
trying- you
contest
know.
because it's not a free for all. You know, and
I mean, it wasn't to do anything else,
Right.
but to try to. I mean, is what my giveaway was 20 mini readings. No, I'm sorry, 11, not 20. I lied. I'm sorry. I'm a fraud. It was 11 mini readings. So in a chat. So I was trying to do a good thing, but
right.
but you know, like I said, you're not going to make everyone happy, and you just
I think
can do the
that's
best
the
that
hardest.
you can.
That's
It really
that's
is
one
hard.
of the hardest things because again, we're in the position of giving and we can't give to everybody, you know, and it's maybe it's because they're not ready at that time and maybe
That's
they
what
have
I
to
always.
maybe they have to wait, you
Divine.
know, a little bit longer, you know, or maybe it's
There's
just
something going on here that I don't know about.
I know. Or
I hope
maybe
not.
You guys having like a surprise party for me?
da, 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 da,
You know I love
da, da.
cake.
We have like monkeys with tambourines.
I think I'd be okay with cake. My husband would probably say donuts, but
I know.
he's still sitting in the back wanting donuts. So
Donut party.
I don't.
why
like-
don't we have donuts anymore? We used to have donuts every
Last
show.
time I came, you guys had donuts, a whole bunch of munchkins.
Did we really?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
a
I
whole
did. I
bunch of
bought munchkins.
She was being like super nice that time. This time I'm like, do you have water anywhere? She's like, over there.
And I was like, it's by the bathroom.
Go ahead, go find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
from the
had
tap.
we had sprinkle donuts every show. Do you remember
I
that?
know. I love the cream filled donuts. Those are my favorite.
Oh, the new undercover donut from
What is that?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Ooh.
It's
undercover
it's the ones that are
undercover
shaped like a
donut.
star with sprinkles. Like they're chocolate frosted, and then there's sprinkles on top, little star sprinkles, but it's shaped like a star. I only wanted it because it was shaped like a star, but it's a new Men in Black thing. It's called the
Oh, yeah.
undercover black cocoa donut, but it's filled with stuff that tastes like brownie batter.
You know what?
It is so
that
good.
sounds amazing, but you also triggered my memory that I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you got to see it or not. lights dimmed again. But
There's all kinds of action
but
going on
I
here.
know. We do have about 5 more minutes into the show, so if you do have a question, please get your questions in. I just wanted to ask you, what were you going to say?
Afterwards, you want to go get a donut?
Oh my gosh, I'm.
My husband will go with you.
I'm tipping the
One of those
scales.
brownie things.
Oh my God, it's
I
so
know.
good.
Just wrap yourself. Do those one of those
I know.
things that she does.
Yes, we can wrap afterwards.
There you go.
Well,
you just
I'm
have a donut
eating.
wrap.
But I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen the movie Hereafter with Matt Damon?
Yes, I did.
I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was a good portrayal. I don't know if you did. Obviously, she hesitated, so she didn't like it.
No, I
But
liked it.
I thought it was good. I'm
It
not going to
was
say it's an
good.
outstanding movie, but I'm just saying as far as medium work goes, I thought it was a decent portrayal.
What was the other movie that I really thought was good? But of course, you know what? I watched movies so far in between. But what is the other movie that came out after that?
After it? Do you
Was
know?
it recent?
It had to have been like within 2 years. That's when I forget everything.
Michael with John Travolta? No, that was 91.
Well, how old was the movie that you're talking about?
Well, Hereafter wasn't too old. What
Hereafter
came out right
was
after?
2010, I think.
Yeah, and what came out?
There
Like,
was Charlie St. Cloud that came out
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
I didn't see that
That was
one.
with Zac Efron. I haven't seen it because I heard it's like sad and I don't want to cry. So, but I heard it's really, really good.
I can't think of what it is. I can't think of the movie. And of course, as soon as we leave here, I'll think of it. But I thought it was a good movie. I mean, it wasn't. It just kind of. I thought that. I don't know. It was good.
Okay. Well, no, I just thought of it because Steph brought up the movies, and then I thought of Hereafter, so.
I keep thinking there's a cat over there. when you
Oh,
do
because my
that.
feet.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
we
it's
can
all right.
pretend it's one.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, I thought it was a good movie. It was just like at the ending, I kind of was like, you know, it was kind of.
Right.
But it
exactly.
was-
Like I agree. Like I thought it was a good portrayal of a medium.
But then the way the girls like just stopped talking to him, I don't think that was.
No, yeah, that made me sad because I liked it when they went to the Italian cooking class
Yes,
together.
and then she just
And it was
never
a good
called him
plot.
again.
Yeah, I mean that's just
Oh.
the plot part. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I thought it was okay. But there's another movie. I know you know it, and I cannot think of it.
Lord of the Rings,
I love it.
Harry Potter.
I absolutely
no,
love
I
it.
don't watch any of
I'm
those.
kidding. I'm kidding.
How about Avatar? No. I don't know. There's another movie, and I'm telling you, when we leave here and we're driving, I'm gonna go. You know what movie it was? You have to tell everyone next Tuesday.
I will.
Who was
What
in
movie?
it? Do you
I
know?
cannot think of anything except for there's another movie.
It wasn't the one with Nicolas Cage,
Okay.
right?
I don't know. I can't.
Was it Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan? That was one too.
Oh, Okay, we got to wrap it up. We're getting the sun to wrap it up. So I'm
They'll-
sorry, guys.
They'll tell you next week.
We will tell.
We will.
We will tell you next week.
We'll post it all over Facebook.
Thank you very much, Nicole,
Thank
for
you
coming
for
on.
having me.
And you can go to tiffanyrice.com for more events. And also Necole Stephens, NecoleStephens.com for her events. And thank you very much. We'll
Thank you.
be back next week with Kathleen Hoffman. Thank you. Have a good night.